Evening, everyone. I hope you are well and you found this live feed about the presentation of the Master Trans, one of the master orientation at Hedge Genève. My name is Olivier Desvoignes. With my colleague Marianne Guarino-Huet, we form an artist collective named Microsillon, and as a collective, we coordinate this master program. I have the pleasure for this session to be with Deborah Bron. Deborah is an alumna from the program, and just after my presentation, that will last for about 20 minutes, I will give the floor to Deborah, who will share about her experience as a student in the Transmaster, and also about what she's doing now that she got a diploma from this master. And of course, after Deborah's presentation, we can take time for questions if you have some. Okay. So, as I said, I'm forming this collective, Microsillon, with Marianne Guarino-Huet. And for more than 15 years now, we are developing socially engaged art practices. And we are bringing this experience of being socially engaged artist into the Transmaster, as this program is aiming at training artists who wish to develop the artistic practices as socially engaged practices. For us, to begin with, what we mean by this peculiar term of socially engaged art practices is practices that involve people that don't define themselves as artists in a collaborative way. So we work collaboratively with other people that don't define themselves as artists. Practice that aim at a social or political transformation. So something that is producing an effect in real life and not only a symbolical effect. And practices that result in forms that are co-produced between the artist and the group involved. So the idea is that artists working this way are always co-signing what they produce, not staying in the usual way artists are signing themselves and alone the artwork. As you can see, these projects of socially engaged art practices are not that much defined in terms of medium, but rather by the collaborative dimension. Very often, they involve partnerships with, for example, schools, neighborhood centers, health institutions, associations, and also with very often with gallery education departments of several cultural institutions. This term of socially engaged art practices is still quite seldom in French and in the French-speaking world, but in English or in German, it's a term that exists since a longer time, and these practices are better established in English-speaking countries and in German-speaking countries. One of the artists that is one of the pioneers of these practices is named Stephen Wilatz, and already in the 70s, he tried to define what he meant in the way he was working and to show how the way he was working was different from the traditional way artists were producing artworks. And even though this approach and this diagram is now 50 years old even, we still think it is quite useful to understand how we can define socially engaged art practices. So on the left-hand side, you can see on the left diagram, the diagram on the left, you can see what Stephen Wilatz is calling the conventional relationship of an artwork between artist and audience. So in this diagram, you can see that on the one hand, there is the artist, and on the other end, the audience. And like in the middle of both of them, like a wall that would stand between them, there is the artwork. So this artwork is produced from the artist on the one side, is seen or consumed by the audience from the other side, but the two sides never directly meet. Stefan Wilatz is opposing to this traditional conventional way to produce artworks another diagram that is on the right. And in this diagram, you can see that artwork is at the center, and it's in the middle of a network of relationships between the artist, the context, and the audience. And there are many different arrows that shows that there is a circulation between the artist and the context, the audience and the context, the artist and the audience. And it's only through that network that the artwork is produced. So this right diagram is a quite good illustration of what we are trying to do at Mastertrans. Before I continue, I wanted to say that if you have any question at any point during my presentation or Deborah's presentation, don't hesitate to add a comment in the chat, and we will discuss it just as soon as we are finished with the presentation. I would like now to, after this general approach, general presentation, I would like to show how this idea of socially engaged art practices is reflected in the master and its organization. First of all, during the 2 years of the training, the students have to take part to collective projects, which are the center of the program. In small groups of 3 to 5 students, the idea is to develop long-term projects that involve people who are not artists and that take place in the city, in connection with different partners and institutions. Here, for example, there is an image that was taken during a protest on climate crisis with the group Les Collègues, and the group is handling a banner that they produced. Les Collègues is a collective working on issues related to climate change on the border between militancy and art practice. And this project was a collaboration with Veduta, which is the socially engaged art program of the Biennale de Lyon. And the final result of this collaboration was presented in the frame of the Biennale. So very often, the master is proposing a frame, for example, this partnership with Veduta here, and then the group of students has the freedom to imagine, to invent how they would like to work in that frame and to produce something specific for that frame according to the will of the groups, the competencies of the students, etc. Here we can see 2 pages of a publication that was realized by a group of students, another group, who worked in dialogue with HUG, the Geneva University Hospital, and more specifically with the Service for Pediatric Oncology. The project took place during a COVID time, and it was very difficult for them to actually do the project. And because of that, the project took the form of a comic book that was presenting all the difficulties of doing the project, all the institutional relationship, the doubts, the difficulties, but also what they actually did with the children that were staying at the hospital with whom they worked. This is another project that was realized in a popular housing complex in Vernier that is called Les Libellules. And the project was done with a group of children from the school of this neighborhood. And the pupils, for a few months, they invented fantastic, like science fiction stories that were happening in the neighborhood. And we can see on the right hand of the picture a student from the Transmaster helping them to record and to take pictures of what will become a photographic series of science fiction stories in the neighborhood. The project was presented in a neighborhood exhibition space at Les Libellules. This is also at Les Libellules, but a completely different project that took place with a group of people that were using the community house in Les Libellules. And in particular, people were learning French because they arrived in Switzerland not that long ago. And this workshop was a ceramic workshop that was developed in Les Libellules around question of migration and the migration background of each of the participants. And the result was exhibited at Musée de l'Ariana, very important museum for ceramic in Geneva. And as a last example of these collective projects, this is an embassy that was held inside a project of the artist Thomas Hirschhorn that was held by the students for 3 months inside this Thomas Hirschhorn structure. And the structure was a way to propose to people in Biel, in Bienne, where this project was taking place, to propose them different activities in the city, walks, parties, readings, different things that were happening every day for 3 months. And it was called Ambassade de Dandelion. Dandelion was the name of the collective. Aside from these collective projects that, as you can see, can take various forms and are very different one from another, the students are also developing a personal practice and have both a studio space and also individual mentorship to develop this practice. As a next example, we can see here, just wanted to say a word on this. These collective projects that I just presented before I go forward to personal practices, they are then, each year, they are presented in a collective publication, which means that during the last semester of the master, all the groups are working mainly on writing a reflexive article on the project they did. And all those articles are published together in a publication that can then be spread out to the master network and to many different people interested in socially engaged art around Europe and abroad. So coming back on the personal practices now, here is the first example with the work of Cindy Cedeno, who leads a feminist Colombian percussion collective and develop specific forms of militancy and artistic intervention with that collective, very often informed by a feminist struggle. Another example, Deborah can tell us more about it in a minute. The work of Camille Sauvé and Deborah Bron, who worked as a duo to interrogate the need of culture and cultural spaces in a rural area in the periphery of Lyon. And we were also very happy with this project. That was a long-term project involving many inhabitants from this place. We are very happy that they won the Prix du Public Art et Humanité a few months ago now, which also shows the importance of their work and the long-term involvement with this community. This is a completely different project by Sita Subias, who worked on biofilm and how to invent new materials to do art, but also to build some structure, to make small houses, to install different kind of installations. And the work was an articulation between written research on the biofilm and art installations, as we can see here. Another example is the work of Boli and Elvira Fabrega, which shows also, like for Camille and Deborah, that very often the students, even in their personal practice, they decide to work together, which is really interesting for us in the frame of the Master Trans. And Bo and Elvira developed a game around the question of care and the work was the game was used in different contexts, both in school and with different associations during the 2 years of the master studies. And as a last example of a personal practice, this is a research that was led by Luz Romero on the Latina diaspora in Geneva. And the research took the form of a sound installations in these cardboard boxes that you can see. There were different excerpts of interviews that Luz run in the city of Geneva with people from the Latina diaspora. And also a performance. What we see on the screen is a performance that was done in the installation. Both the collective projects and the personal practices of each student is followed by the Master Trans teaching team, and the teachers are also proposing classes, seminars, workshops, or reading groups to help develop the necessary tools to work on such collaborative projects. Those socially engaged art projects are requiring many different tools from different disciplines, so it's important for us to have the point of view and the competencies of people coming from different areas and different practices. In addition to the main team that you can see on the left-hand side, we have the chance to welcome many internationally renowned guest teachers that are invited to give their point of views and support on the project. This, as you can see, is forming along the years a very dense network of peers that are involved in the Master Trans, and it's really a chance to be able to dialogue with all of these people who are, for most of them, very renowned peers in the field, to be able to dialogue with all of them in Geneva. Many artists, but also curators, thinkers, also people coming from social work, a very varied network. In the Master Trans, we also seek to foster solidarity between students and to develop a friendly spirit. We are a group of around 30 students, and this quite small size facilitates such a spirit to emerge. This group spirit is made possible by a pedagogy that is inspired by radical and feminist pedagogies, and the students are involved in a continuous reflection on the program, in the self-management also of certain moments of teaching, like the reading group. We organize the teaching so that we spend quite a lot of time all together, the 30 of us as a group, in teachings, of course, but also in more informal moments, such as during our now famous Tuesday potluck lunch. You can see a picture here, which is a really friendly moments where we eat together as a group, but also we open this moment to other people in the school and to alumni. So it makes a nice moment of exchange every week, and we really feel that these informal moments are key to foster solidarity among the students. What we could observe, and we are very happy about that, is that such a solidarity is happening during the studies. As I said before, there are many collectives that form during the studies and work together, but also after the studies, because very often, and the collective that Camille and Deborah are forming is a good example of that. Very often, the alumni are still working together after the program and supporting each other in, for example, in sharing some studio space or in applying to grants or to residency. So this dimension of being a group is very important for us, both during the studies and after the studies. A word on the research we are currently running at Master Trans. Since 2 years now, we investigate the notion of eco-pedagogy. We do so with different guests, such as Jorge Mena Barreto, Jan von Esvig, or Mark Hebbs, for example. And we are aiming at inventing new ways as socially engaged artists, new ways to tackle the question of ecology in pedagogical contexts. We can see here images that were produced with a group of children during that research to try to invent these new forms of ecological pedagogical practices. And we can say also that our understanding of eco-pedagogy is very much turned toward ecological justice and ecofeminism as main sources for this reflection. Finally, to get maybe a bit more concrete even, this little diagram can help you to understand how the typical week is organized. So as you can see, we are spending 1 day a week of classes, seminar, and workshops together. And then we are spending 1 day of work on collective projects at school together, and 1 day that is self-managed, either in the different workshops with collaborators, or sometimes as a working session at school too. And concerning personal practices, same thing. There is 1 day that is on site at school, where you can have individual meetings. We organize some crit sessions where you can present your work to the whole class, and 1 day that is more self-organized. To conclude, we can say that the Transmaster aims at training artists who are able to develop complex art projects in different social contexts, in schools, in sociocultural animation, in gallery education, in community work, and that even more importantly, we think that the solidarity that is developed during and after the studies in the group of students is something that is key for the future career of the students of the master. Before I leave the floor to Deborah, I can already show you just our email. So if you didn't see this yet, you can, of course, visit our website and our Instagram to know more about the activities of the master. And don't hesitate for any questions related to application, to producing the portfolio, etc., to write to us at this email, microsillon.head@hsge.ch. Thanks a lot, and I will stop the sharing my screen and leave the floor to Deborah.
Alors, bonsoir à tous et à toutes. Donc, par rapport à mon expérience dans le Master Trans, déjà, il faut savoir que avant d'intégrer le Master Trans, j'ai effectué tout un cursus scolaire artistique dans différentes écoles d'art françaises. Et en fait, la première chose qui m'a attirée dans ce master, c'était vraiment cette idée que l'art peut être un possible vecteur de transformation sociale. Et c'est ce qui a été très motivant en fait pour moi. Et donc du coup, il y a aussi le contenu du master qui a été également très intéressant, dont tout l'aspect théorique étudié dans nos cours qui m'a beaucoup apporté sur les théories qui gravitent autour des pédagogies alternatives. Et en fait, ce qui est chouette, c'est que l'équipe pédagogique du master nous pousse à utiliser aussi ces processus pédagogiques dans nos productions artistiques, et ça se croise assez bien. Puis, on a eu, donc, comme Olivier vous a expliqué tout à l'heure, l'opportunité d'intégrer un projet collectif qui est proposé par le master et en partenariat avec différentes institutions culturelles sur 2 ans. Et donc, le collectif dans lequel moi j'ai travaillé durant ces 2 ans porte le nom du collectif Trait d'Union. Donc, nous étions 5 dans ce collectif. Et nous avons travaillé ensemble en partenariat avec le MAMCO et des institutions d'accueil de personnes issues de la migration. Donc, on a travaillé plutôt sur la question de la représentation des minorités dans les grandes institutions culturelles genevoises, en menant différents ateliers, temps de rencontres et temps d'échanges durant 2 ans. Donc voilà, même s'il y a eu des hauts et des bas parfois dans ces projets collectifs, avec du recul, ça a été vraiment une expérience très enrichissante, et notamment le moment d'écriture pour l'article qui était assez chouette. Et puis aussi, plus largement, l'AED, ça m'a aussi permis de rencontrer différents étudiants et étudiantes de différents champs artistiques. Et puis du coup aussi d'intégrer des collectifs qui sont au sein de l'école. Et, euh, et par rapport aussi aux intervenants du Master Trans, ça m'a aussi beaucoup apporté durant ces 2 ans. Mais surtout, durant ma première année de master, j'ai rencontré donc Camille Sevez, donc une camarade de classe, et toutes les deux aujourd'hui, donc on forme un duo d'artistes médiatrices. Et donc en fait, on a commencé à travailler ensemble grâce à un workshop qui a été organisé dans le master. Et dans le cadre de ce master, de ce workshop, on a travaillé sur la réalisation d'une édition. Et c'est à ce moment-là qu'on s'est rendu compte que nos dynamiques de travail marchaient bien. Et on s'est vite rendu compte qu'on partageait à la fois une sensibilité commune pour l'environnement et aussi pour le rapport à l'habitat. Et puis on a commencé à mettre en commun pas mal de nos recherches. Et, euh, et en fait, naturellement, on a commencé à travailler ensemble en réalisant donc déjà toute une recherche en zone rurale, comme nous l'a introduit Olivier, donc en développant, en ayant cette volonté de vouloir développer les liens entre les habitants, habitantes et leur environnement. Et donc, c'est aussi en partant de nos propres expériences de vie en zone rurale que nous nous sommes posés différentes questions, notamment quelles sont les envies des habitants et des habitantes pour leur village, puis comment aimerions-nous voir évoluer notre environnement de vie en dehors des villes. Et puis voilà, comment aussi en tant qu'artistes pouvons-nous favoriser un dialogue plutôt transgénérationnel pour imaginer un futur plus durable dans toute la transformation rurale qui est en cours. Et donc voilà, on a mené ce projet dans un petit village pas très loin de Genève, à 130 km, qui s'appelle Châteauvillain. Et donc, dès la rentrée 2021, donc dès le début de notre deuxième année de master, on a proposé une série de 4 interventions en collaboration avec l'école de ce village, les habitants de ce village, qui s'articulaient autour voilà, d'une idée d'enquête sur le territoire, sur son passé, et sur ses perspectives d'avenir. Donc, on a produit toutes sortes de formes différentes, des capsules sonores, des éditions, des maquettes, comme vous avez pu le voir sur la photo qu'Olivier vous a montrée. Et en fait, on a eu la chance de réaliser ce projet dans le cadre de notre master, car en fait, on était assez libre de mener le projet personnel qu'on souhaitait. Donc, nous, on a décidé de mener notre projet personnel en collectif au final. Et donc, il faut savoir qu'on a également réalisé nos diplômes en collectif. Et ça, c'était une expérience assez chouette. Et on a aussi écrit une partie de notre mémoire en commun. Voilà, on a intégré ce projet-là dans nos 2 sujets de mémoire différents. On a essayé, voilà, on a trouvé les liens, on a, voilà. Et puis, c'est aussi, je dirais, grâce au soutien de la aide nous avons pu accéder à des moyens qui nous ont permis de mener à bien tout notre projet de diplôme du début à la fin. On a beaucoup travaillé dans les ateliers d'impression à la aide, qui sont assez grands et qui offrent beaucoup de choses. Et l'atelier bois, évidemment. Et, donc, ouais, les ateliers sont assez généreux à la aide. Et, et donc, les différents aussi intervenants du master nous ont offert tout un accompagnement hyper précieux au cours de la construction de notre projet, et en apportant voilà, leur éclairage puis leur critique face des fois aux problématiques qu'on a pu rencontrer. Donc c'était super. Et puis avec le recul, l'expérience du master trans, on en sort vivant. Mais ça a été aussi très riche, et ça a été l'occasion voilà, de rencontrer aussi des alliés qui nous permettent de poursuivre nos collaborations Et puis aujourd'hui, maintenant, avec Camille, nous, on continue de collaborer ensemble. Donc, notre travail s'inscrit dans la durée. Donc, on continue à collaborer dans le village de Châteauvillain et celui dans lequel on a mené notre projet de master. Et en fait, avec ce projet, il y a eu un effet un peu boule de neige aussi par les personnes qu'on a rencontrées dans le master. Et donc là, en ce moment, on est aussi dans une résidence à Cergy depuis cet été jusqu'à fin juin 2023. Et donc, Cergy, c'est un petit village qui est basé à la frontière française-suisse. Et c'est là où travaille. Donc, on est accueilli dans une résidence d'artistes qui s'appelle les Ateliers Bermuda. Et c'est ici que travaille notre ancienne assistante de master, donc qui a vu notre projet de près, qui nous a proposé de mener une collaboration entre l'école du village de Cergy et les habitantes et la résidence des Ateliers Bermuda. Donc, on est sur ce projet aussi en ce moment, et aussi par l'artiste Marie Preston, qui est venue en tant qu'intervenante dans le master. Euh, et en fait, Marie, en ce moment, elle mène une résidence à Montbard, en Franche-Comté. Et dans le cadre de sa résidence, il va y avoir des ateliers qui vont être menés. Elle a parlé de notre projet à cette résidence-là. Et puis, ils nous ont invités à mener des ateliers. Donc, voilà, c'est assez chouette. Donc, quand je parlais de rencontres aussi, je souligne, je souligne vraiment. Mais voilà, après, ça peut être des rencontres, des collaborations aussi pour le post-master. Et puis, bon, après, tous les projets qu'on a en ce moment ne nous permettent pas encore de gagner notre vie. Donc, on a aussi chacune un job à côté. Donc, Camille, elle est assistante du Master Trans. Et moi, je travaille au sein d'une association qui s'appelle le CPIE Littoral Basque, Centre permanent d'initiative pour l'environnement. Et en fait, donc, ils agissent sur la protection et sur la valorisation du littoral basque. Donc, c'est une association qui se situe au Pays Basque, dans le sud-ouest de la France. Et ils possèdent un pôle culture, donc une résidence d'artistes qui s'appelle Nekatio Enea et qui accueille chaque année de nombreux artistes en résidence pour des périodes variées, durant lesquelles les artistes développent des sujets liés au territoire, liés aux thématiques de préoccupation du CPIE, et puis aussi sur l'art, l'environnement et la science. Et donc moi, je suis en fait chargée de ce lieu et du programme de résidence jusqu'à fin août pour le moment. Et, et en fait, IEL, on fait appel à moi car l'association souhaite en fait développer des résidences de médiation, des résidences de co-création avec différents publics. Et donc, pour le coup, le master trans, ça m'a apporté beaucoup d'outils sur ces sujets que j'applique dans la résidence. Et ce qui est satisfaisant, en fait, c'est aussi de pratiquer des choses que j'ai vues de manière plutôt théorique dans le master, et là, de les appliquer directement sur le terrain et que ce soit assez concret. Donc, ça, c'est assez chouette. Donc, voilà un peu pour résumer mon expérience dans le Master Trans à la aide. Donc, si vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas dans le chat, on peut y répondre.
Merci beaucoup, Déborah. Je trouve que la manière dont tu as présenté la question du réseau, c'est très important parce que, en fait, ce monde des pratiques artistiques socialement engagées, il est finalement assez petit, même si il s'étend. Notamment en France, il y a de plus en plus de structures qui s'intéressent à ce type de pratiques collaboratives. Mais le fait que ça soit quand même un monde assez petit fait que aussi les personnes qu'on a la chance de pouvoir rencontrer, en fait, on est en lien direct avec elles et puis on peut développer, comme tu l'as montré avec Marie Preston ou avec les ateliers Bermuda, on peut trouver assez vite des liens pour réellement faire des choses. Et puis, je trouvais aussi très juste dans ta présentation de parler à la fois de vos pratiques d'artiste et de vos autres pratiques qui sont assez connexes dans votre cas, mais ce n'est pas toujours le cas pour tous les alumni. Mais je pense que les savoir-faire multiples que vous pouvez acquérir en tant qu'artiste au sens général, mais aussi plus spécifiquement dans ce champ des pratiques artistiques socialement engagées, font que vous développez des compétences qui vous permettent aussi de trouver des jobs assez varié en fait pour s'articuler avec un travail d'artiste, et que c'est la réalité aussi de la plupart des artistes aujourd'hui de compiler ces différentes activités.
Ouais, exactement. Oui. Mhm.
Alors, comme le disait Déborah, on répond volontiers à vos questions si vous en avez. Posez-les simplement dans le chat. Et puis, évidemment, comme je le disais tout à l'heure, on est à votre disposition aussi par email. Je vais remettre notre email dans le chat. Avec Marianne, on vous rencontre volontiers aussi, soit au bureau, si vous êtes à Genève, soit sur Zoom ou sur Teams, pour répondre aussi aux interrogations que vous auriez ou aux demandes de conseils pour écrire vos dossiers de candidature. So, otherwise, as I was saying before, don't hesitate to contact Marianne and me on this email address that I just added on the chat. And with pleasure, we can meet you either at the office at HEAD if you are in Geneva, or on Zoom or Teams or whichever platform, to also give you some advices if you need some on how to write your application portfolio. If there are no questions, we will simply end the session. And thank you once again for your attention and for joining us. And looking forward to reading your applications for those of you who will send one. Have a nice evening, and thanks again, Deborah, for your nice presentation. It was a pleasure to have you for this session. Bye, everyone.
Au revoir.